This is DRF, Race of the Day. Hi, everybody. Dan Illman and Mike Beer, the DRF Race of the Day for Thursday, September the 2nd. Race number 4 at Saratoga. Let's throw up the field. We're going 7/8 of a mile. This is a 3 other than optional claimer, and you can download free Formulator Pass performances for this race on the Race of the Day event page at drf.com. And for coverage of the stakes race at Saratoga on Thursday, the P.G. Johnson for 2-year-olds, tune into Spa Babies, presented by Spendthrift. Nicole Russo and I talk about that race. A field of 5. There are some solid horses in this race, Mike. Aloha West is 9-5 on the morning line, but American Power could be the controlling speed in a short field.
Yeah, I mean, that'll give American Power his best chance to beat this field. The horse who's certainly been in good form since Rob Atras has taken over and put some speed into him. Maybe it's all it will take, Dan, but man, it feels like he might be in pretty tough here.
We'll throw up that Timeform US pace projector. Short field, expected blue bar scenario favoring horses on or near the early lead. American Power expected to be in front. Our Last Buck shouldn't be too far behind. And Our Last Buck, Mike, I thought ran quite well in the Morrissey handicap for New York breds last time out, considering it was his first race in about 7.5 months, and he got a sloppy track that he doesn't necessarily love. Let's watch Our Last Buck. He finishes third, and a hard-trying third at that. The runner-up, My Boy Tate's a very useful horse that came back to run second in the Tail of the Cat with a 92 buyer. I could see this horse improving.
Yeah, me too. I mean, this horse was in really good form towards the end of last year, and all of a sudden he just got really good for trainer Michelle Nevin. This was his first start in a while. I just thought it was a really useful effort, and he might want to go a little farther than this, but he did a lot of chasing in here. He was several lengths ahead of My Boy Tate early in that race. Before he drifted out in the stretch and got a little bit tired. But all in all, I thought that was a really nice return.
Projected pace setter American Power was claimed by Atras for $40,000 at Saratoga last summer. Atras coaxed him into being a graded stakes winner over the winter at Aqueduct at this distance. And he's running grade stakes races in his last 2. Likely had no shot from a class perspective in either one of those. 3 back going 7/8. He ran okay on the lead, finishing second to Looking at Bikinis, who's a legitimate kind of listed stakes horse. So if he gets an easy lead, he could be tough, and he has figs.
Exactly. I mean, to me, it's all about whether or not he can really get loose in here. Maybe Our Last Buck he's not really a sprinter, Our Last Buck, but maybe he can keep up. We'll just see how loose he can get, Dan. I'm not going to knock him. I do think he's dangerous on the front end in here. He's just one of those interesting cases because in a prior life, when Linda Rice had this horse, he had no speed at all. And as soon as Rob Atras claimed him, he put speed into this horse, and it's made all the difference.
I like this move from trainer Steve Asmussen with Sonneman, the number 3, cutting him back to a sprint. He has not raced in a one-turn event since last summer at Churchill Downs. He finished second in the Pat Day Mile at a big price. He's run okay in some 2-turn races against good horses, the Maxfields of the world on several occasions. This turn back is what he wants. Does he get enough pace? We'll find out.
Yeah, that's the big question to me. I don't mind the turn back for this horse at all. And in fact, I think it probably is good for him. That doesn't change the fact that he doesn't really have any speed at all. He did win a 7-furlong race at Gulfstream early last year, Dan, before they went into all those stakes races and stretched him out. But that race had a huge pace and just came falling apart for him, and he closed it down at the end. This race obviously is not going to be run that way.
Let's watch Aloha West's win earlier this meet on August the 1st. Love this ride from Joel Rosario. Aloha West doesn't have a lot of pace. He made a big 4-wide move into contention on the turn, and he eventually grinds down Nighttime right in the shadow of the wire. He earned a very respectable 96 buyer speed figure, but it's worth noting he does good work on wet tracks. This track was rated good.
Yeah, he ran really well in here, as did the runner-up Nighttime. They both ran really nice races in here. Aloha West, you don't have to worry about the 7 furlongs for him. It's all about whether he can, get the right trip in here because he's a horse who wants to sit back in the early stages of a race. He's probably going to have to be ridden the same way he was ridden last time, Dan, and sort of get on the move early, get himself into contention, and then just see if he can outstay some, let's just call it better horses this time. I have no knocks against Nighttime, who came back and ran really well again at Saratoga last weekend, but this is a tougher race.
Three Technique completes the field, and this just might be the right spot for him. He ran well against Mind Control and Firenze Fire in a race where those two controlled it throughout and are likely slightly better than Three Technique. And in the Vanderbilt, not a great start, again, in a race where the pace didn't come back. Back to Lasix on, gets class relief, and I think he has enough tactical speed where he can stay close.
Yeah, that's what I liked about him too. I just feel like in this field, American Power's going. The others, it feels like they're going to have to try to work out the trip that they want. This horse is no plotter. I mean, he's not a blazing speed either, but he's no plotter. I think he's going to be up close in here. I think this is a great distance for him. And at the end of the day, Dan, he's just getting the right class relief. He's a good horse. He's not a grade 1 horse.
Top pick time for our Thursday race of the day. Three Techniques where Mike's going. I think he's going to sit a stalk and pounce trip. He has plenty of back races that indicate he can win this. I like the way Aloha West won last time. He really did a lot of work in that race on the turn while losing ground. He's going to have to work out a setup, and that's not up to him. That's up to his rivals on the lead.
I think that's true. I think he's a really good horse, and I don't think we've seen his best race yet either. I just wonder if in this race, Three Technique gets the jump on him, and Three Technique, I mean, I just think he's a good horse, Dan. I think this is the right spot for him.
5-4, 1-3 for Mike, 4-2, 5-1 for me. It's the Thursday race of the day, the fourth at the Spa.